Hi all! So welcome to Learning with B. Today we're going to talk about names because a lot of people may have questions about my name, for example, when people hear, so I introduce myself, hi, my name is B, and they would ask me how do you spell my name? Basically it is like this. So this is actually my friends bought me these for as a present for me. And these are from Brooke, this is from Todd, so thank you so much. And they are so cute with the bumblebee design. And yes, my name is spelled as B-E-E as in bumblebee because when I grew up in Thailand, we all have nicknames because I don't know, I feel like it is a nickname culture, because when we actually introduce ourselves, we introduce ourselves with nicknames. Because our names, actual name, legal name, are used in official matters, in school or in government, in any of those types. But nicknames are generally used in everyday life. In office, people use nicknames. When they communicate through emails or anything like that, if it's not really official, they usually use nickname. So for me, when I come to the US, when I introduce myself, people ask me whether I came up with the English name or American name, because my actual name is difficult to pronounce to American people. To answer to that, actually my name is not too difficult. My first name is not too difficult, and my last name could be very difficult for other people because it's long, it has a lot of vowels and everything, but that's not the reason. That said, some of my students came up with their English names, or sometimes they have English names that were given to them when they were in their grade schools learning English, because they may given the English names because the teacher at the time could not pronounce their names or did not take the time to remember students' names, so they just gave them I think they have the system, either they do it alphabetically or they have their own kind of random ways of assigning English names to their students. So many times when I teach students who actually are many of them are from Asia, and they sometimes have English names with them, and if they come to my classrooms, I would ask them which name they prefer to be called, either their English names or their actual names. And a lot of the time many of them prefer to be called by their actual name, and I would respect that by trying to pronounce their name as correctly as I can. And then they can correct me. I don't mind that. I don't get offended by being corrected with their pronunciation, because I mean it's their name that I need to actually say it correctly. But if they are prefer to be called English names, I mean I would call them in English with their English names. But also I sometimes switch to their Chinese name or Korean name or Japanese name, or any other countries that they come from, because I want them to see that their names are not difficult to pronounce by other people, because a lot of the time we international students get used to our name being called differently, and their pronunciation can be off, can be close but not quite. But then again, we were forgiving. I don't mind people call me with some people see my ID card and they wanted to try saying it, try to pronounce it. I mean and I will correct them if they wanted to try, because they are willing to try, and I want to encourage them to try that, because I think it's kind of nice for them to actually try it. Names is really important to one person's, and it kind of feel like we are being respected if they respect by calling our name or trying to pronounce our name correctly, and then so when I'm in class, for example, if I have 25 students in my class and all of them are international students, or I have students from like Malaysia, Korea, China, Japan, Russia, and I try to pronounce their name as correctly as I can. Saudi Arabian students also have like some of the names are difficult to pronounce, some of the like vowels or some of the consonants that do not have in either Thai or in English, so I have difficulties in pronouncing those, but I'll try my best to do that, and I usually give it myself like 3 weeks to remember their names, and then because by the end of the semester I need to be able to see the name and see the face and know who this person is because I have to grade them, right? So I take my time to learn their names because I feel that it is important, and a lot of people actually really appreciative of me doing that because they feel like they are valued, they feel empowered because maybe like less people have done that with them in the past, and they feel like names are just name. Actually, name is not just a name. It is very important to one's person, right? So think about if someone if they introduce themselves, hi, my name is Sarah, and you kept calling her Judy all the time, for example, right? Like they may be polite in not correcting your miscall their names, but at one point she would actually like correct you and you would feel bad. I think but I mean, names are important, don't get me wrong. So I hope try to say someone's name that are difficult to you, and you can apology at the beginning. You can say I'll try to say your name. If I say it wrong, please forgive me, and you can correct me, because I think it's kind of being respectful to be able to say their names with with their pronunciation. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. See you, bye.